So we're at our studio over on Glenmary Drive in Owego.
Nice.
And behind us is the treehouse that we designed our EP cover after. And we just felt like it was really fitting, and we got this gorgeous upstate New York day. So we figured, let's do it outside.
So I guess if you guys could just start us off telling us a little bit more about the band and how you got started.
And all of your names and everything, all of the things.
Yeah. So I'll start. My name's Jacob Kurtz. I'm the bass player of Glenmary's Ghost.
I'm Jeremiah. I play the drums.
And I'm John. I'm the lead singer and rhythm guitarist.
I'm Drew, lead guitarist and backup singer.
Nice. I guess I do backup sometimes too.
Yeah, you do sing a lot.
When we let you.
Yeah.
Nice. Just every once in a while, like a little treat,
I'm a delicacy.
Yeah, and when the cable's working too, right?
Yeah. Lately in our studio, we've been having problems with his mic cable, so he'll just go to sing and there's just nothing going on.
Coincidentally.
or it cuts in and out and makes this awful noise.
It's an elaborate prank, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you say Glenmary Drive, so I'm guessing that's where the name came from. But how did you guys all meet and get started?
You want to take a job?
Sure. So this has been a while now that we've known each other. I think if I could date it correctly, I think Drew and I met in 2014, right? And so I was, or 2013 actually. Yeah, so because it was my first semester at college. I went to Finger Lakes Community College for music, and but I grew up in this area of Owego, and I met Jake and Drew through our mutual friend Dylan, and we all just started jamming together. And at the time, our friend Dylan was playing drums for us, but he's like more of a, I guess, vocalist and guitar player and not so much a drummer. So we knew that at some point we would need to get a real drummer. So we ended up meeting Jerry through, I forget the story. But
Drew's mom. We met Jerry through Drew's mom. Jerry's sister was Drew's mom's nurse one time or something like that. So we got, they just started chatting, and we got the contact for Jerry, and we invited him over one time, and it kind of stuck. Then there was a time where John went and moved to Colorado for a couple of years. So we didn't really do much then, but this is our third summer now.
Yeah.
So John moved back to this area, and we formed, and we've been taking a lot more serious this time around, and playing a lot of shows. Before he left for Colorado, we didn't play any shows or anything like that.
Yeah, we were just kind of a group that would like get together to jam, almost like a hobby.
Yeah.
And then once I ended up moving back to this area, like he said, we all kind of decided to take it a little more seriously.
Yeah.
So the name definitely comes from the street. Like we're just outside the studio that we practice in right now.
Oh, nice.
And like he was saying, the treehouse behind us, which I know you guys can't really see, but like that's the basis for our EP cover.
Mm-hmm.
And so my partner Allie, who was the one who actually painted the EP cover, which was pretty cool because I always like being able to like commission friends to do stuff.
Yeah, have that relationship. It's more personal.
Yeah, like we have another friend who does some photography for us and stuff, and I know one of your friends has come to a show to shoot photography for us. So we really endorse that kind of thing of like bringing our friends into our project as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the name particularly, Allie was the one who came up with it, but unbeknown to her, there is an actual ghost legend that is around here. So like right at the end of Glenmary Drive, it hooks onto Route 17.
Ooh.
And there's a ghost story called Lady in White.
Yep.
Do you know it? You want to tell it? Get you some scares?
Yeah, sure. So basically, rumor has it, on any dark, foggy nights, stuff like that, you can potentially see a woman in white on the side of the road trying to hitch a ride. And in a lot of cases, I guess she'll have you drop her off down the road a ways and leave you with a token of appreciation, possibly.
Oh.
And it ranges from like, what is it, like a flower or something, like a rose, or like this. Yeah, so the stories that get told a lot is like she gets picked up and then just vanishes while they're driving,
and they don't know how she got there. I mean, it could have been a prom night disaster or a drunk driver hit her.
Yep,
or
and some stories range back to horse and buggy, and
Yeah.
their buggy fell off the cliff. So they don't really know the origin of the story, but a lot of people have actually claimed they've had encounters with her. So
to make things even spookier, the part of the road that curves really tight is called
Devil's Elbow.
Devil's Elbow, that's it.
Wow.
And that's where you can find her.
So when Allie, John's partner, put those words together, we were just like, that sticks. It's like,
Yeah.
not only does it have origins of where we all met and started and practice every day,
Mhm.
it's also got, that living legend that kind of, is alive in a lot of our shows too, that spookiness.
That's awesome.
It's nice and spooky. I like it. I haven't heard a ghost story in so long. Oh,
Good.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Ghost Adventures to come down.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys can sleep tonight after all that spookiness.
I don't know. That was a lot. It's outlook not good. We'll see. I guess you mentioned that you're, putting a lot of work into it, raising the stakes this time around, and you recently released an EP. So I was wondering if you could tell us about that process and what went into making the EP, and yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'd start off by saying it took a lot longer than we originally intended when we concepted the idea, because like Jake says, we're going into like our third year as a band. So when we probably planned, after like a year playing together, we planned on making that EP. And so there's a studio in Danby called Black Bear Studios, and or Black Bear Recording, and that's where we recorded all our tracks. Jake, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, just shout out to Cooper Casterline. He helped us record it, and
Angelo.
yeah, Angelo.
Yeah.
Is the owner of the studio.
Yep, he's from like bands like Big Mean Sound Machine.
Oh wow, yeah.
He's the owner of the studio, so.
Oh cool. I think I've definitely heard of it before. Like there's definitely some grassroots connections there too.
Yeah,
right?
well, what's their new the Swamp Kids is their new band. Yeah.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's some Ithaca ties there.
Mhm.
So we went there and got all the tracks recorded, and then we sent it out to get mixed and mastered by Jocko Randall up at More Sound in Syracuse. So he finished the product up for us, and then we put it out, and it took a lot of time. A lot of full Saturdays, 12 hours, just grinding in the studio. All very good memories, but it does get very tedious when you start nitpicking like certain aspects of the song. You got to make it perfect and stuff like that. So a lot of our hard work and dedication resulted in a great product. We've been working on those songs. Some of those songs date back before John even left for Colorado. So it just felt nice to finally get something professionally produced, and just something that we're always going to have. We'll always be able to listen back to it and just be like, yes, I remember that time of life. It was great.
Yeah.
And so to add to that too, the part of the reason it took so long is as soon as we sent it out to get mixed, the pandemic started. And so so we were in March, and Jocko ended up closing his studio completely because he worked with other people and stuff. And so while we had sent it out to mix, we learned that he had closed the studio, and I don't think it was until August that he started to like reopen and work. So there was like a 3 to 4 month wait just for us to get our first mix, and then of course like that's just a draft, and we have to go through revisions and things like that. So.
Plus get the album cover finished, and all of the stuff that you guys know that are needed to be done on the social platform, just to get it ready for release. So we did live streams leading up to it.
That was the big struggle, is like we wanted to have a release show in person. That was always the plan, but then we were just like, okay, this pandemic's not going to end anytime soon.
Not quite yet.
So we adapted and figured out a way, and so like we did a couple live streams, and one of those live streams was like our EP release, and we had geared up our studio for that, and just played a virtual show for our release, and
we started it off by letting all the people who were tuned in on Facebook Live to get a first glance at it before it hit the music platforms.
So like we played the EP first, and it was the night before it released.
Yeah,
so.
That's so cool. That's
just
a great
because
idea.
we wanted some kind of release, because we were planning for a live in-person event, and then all this stuff happened, and by time we ever got to play shows again, which is this coming summer, it's like that EP's sitting on the shelf, and it's to us it feels old, but we're just waiting for people to hear it. So we just did our best effort to get a live event created, and it was pretty successful.
On that note, I'd seen you guys been doing live streams on your Facebook and stuff like that because you couldn't do live shows. What has doing stuff like that been compared to live shows?
You want to add anything?
I ain't got much to say, but it's kind of unfortunate when you put that much time and effort into playing and you can't do it to a crowd live, because the music comes off different when you got somebody sitting in front of you listening.
Feeding off that energy.
Yeah.
The energy's real.
For
Yeah.
sure. I will say that John and I were talking right before one of the live streams where I think it was the album release one where we actually kind of had nerves, which is like the pre-show nerves. Like you get, sometimes you get excited throughout the day to play it. Yeah, like kind of like a butterflies kind of feeling. So there is still like some sort of magic to it, and knowing like we can look on the screen and see, you know, there's 30 other people watching, there's people commenting, and that's one thing that I do kind of like about it, is that we get to communicate with people during the show. You know,
Yeah.
people are interjecting, or you also get feedback on very specific songs.
Instead of just a crowd of people yelling at you.
Right.
And not only that, like all of our effort finally doesn't go unnoticed, you know, because it's like, what's going on in the music scene? Are they actually getting together? You know, for a while we didn't because of how serious things were.
Right.
You know, as everybody started getting healthier and safer, you know, those social interactions could happen, you know, so it's like finally we can just show this off to people, you know, because at this point now we have enough material for like an album, you know, since all pandemic started, you know.
And you have that experience in the belt now too, and you can just like jump right in.
Yeah, this summer is
Pretty
going to be a
cool.
really good summer. We have weekends booked almost every weekend from middle of June through all of August. So
That's
That's great.
incredible. Tell us more about that. Where are you gonna play? What are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, so unfortunately we haven't been able to book any shows in Ithaca, although we did try. But I'm gonna pull out our calendar real quick so I don't mistake any of these dates.
No.
But so our first show is gonna be on June 19th at the Barleycorn Tavern here in Owego, which is
Cool.
definitely one of our favorite spots to play because it just feels like the hometown venue, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think our second show that we ever played was there, and then I don't know, we've done one or two since then too. But
Yeah.
I know you guys want to say anything about the Barleycorn?
it's a great place, you know, support local, you know, they're really trying to make that a music spot in this area. And we're all gung ho for it. We love that spot.
And then we also pretty much most of the venues we're playing are venues we've played before. But there's another venue we're playing in August out in Cooperstown called Red Shed Brewery. And I guess I'll take a moment to talk about how cool it was that we got to play 2 shows there last summer in August during the pandemic. So they have a big outdoor area, so they're able to just have people like spaced out at their tables and stuff like that. And then the band is like, we're pretty removed from the crowd, but it's still definitely the highlight of the year amidst all the chaos of just like this pandemic, no live shows, none of this. And then we got lucky enough to play a couple shows there. So we'll be
Such a
returning.
blessing, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's such a blessing. Like that's so the biggest thing I keep hearing from people is like, I just miss it. I'm so ready to go back and to have like even just a taste throughout this experience.
Exactly, because I mean
Yeah.
that was what 3 or 4 months after the pandemic started, so we're just really lucky with that one. But yeah, so we'll be there. We'll be back there this summer, and I think that's August 7th, I believe. Yes, but one of the things that we are definitely excited about is you guys know of New Vine Records.
Maybe.
So they're I don't want to screw this up. Freeville, right?
Yep.
So it's a record company out in Freeville that was like, it's a non-profit, and it was started by like, I'm pretty sure like Ithaca farmers and agriculture people fundraised this company and was able to start like a record company for local artists to try to support local music. And what they've been doing is a weekly, almost weekly,
I think it's
bi-weekly Facebook series called From the Vine. And so they just bring in local bands and stream them within their studio. It's super good quality, amazing stuff. So you can check out like New Vine Records on Facebook to see that. But we're booked to do that July 9th, which is going to be cool. So that's a Friday. So we'll be on a live stream that night
Cool.
there.
I mean, and you're kind of hitting on all these different venues that are, you know, important to you, important to the local scene. And just in general, like what are your favorite things about the upstate New York scene? Because it's kind of special that we've got like, you know, a lot of smaller towns, but like with so much, so like local, like live music and local music is such an important part of the culture here, I think, in my opinion. But I want to hear what your thoughts on that are.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, a lot of it starts with just grassroots. You know, grassroots is born and raised right here in Ithaca. Just having something like that in this area, you know, people are drawn to that, and that just goes to show that music thrives, and that's what people want in this area.
Mhm.
So, and I think, that bed starts in Ithaca, but I think it branches out to all of upstate New York, because even for big jam bands like, we really enjoy Fish, and just the
Yeah.
northeastern part of the whole country is just
Mhm.
like central for like rock and jam band style music. So it's
Mhm.
just like a perfect area for us to, try to come up on top of that scene. Obviously grassroots hasn't been happening, so those kind of shows for us haven't been there, but
Mhm.
that's always something we can hope for in the future. But we
Oh,
love this area.
Oh yeah.
Me too. I'm from Ithaca. Well, I grew up in the Hudson Valley and then moved to Ithaca when I was a kid, and I just didn't realize that it's something it's not common. Like it's not necessarily normal in like a lot of different parts of the country or around the world, but like to grow up around live music and have that be a part of just life is a pretty amazing thing.
So in terms of like rock music and jam band, did you guys have favorite bands or big inspirations for your guys' music?
Of course.
You want to just go down the line?
Sure. I mean, you want to throw out some obvious ones?
Yeah.
Fish, Grateful Dead,
Nice.
and things classic rock like Allman Brothers, Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Jerry, go ahead. Pass the torch. Don't take all of them.
Okay. I mean, obviously Fish too, and the Grateful Dead. If you're gonna be in a jam band, I mean, those are like the pinnacle,
Yeah.
right? But
Oh, I can hear it in your sound too. It's there.
But I mean, I really like funk. I mean, Wolfpack, Cory Wong, that kind of style. Snarky Puppy. I even like metal too. So
Yeah,
like I'm all over the place.
So I will say that I feel like Jerry's metal roots is pretty important when it comes to the way that he drums in our band, because from what you hear on the EP, I mean, besides the song Focus, it's like pretty mild, but like when we're in a jam and we take it there and we're just get really like upbeat and rocking, he's the perfect drummer to have for that, because he has roots in like playing metal, and I speak with your influences there.
Yeah, Matt Greiner from August Burns Red. I mean, I've loved him since 2010. It was like the first metal drummer I heard. I'm like, what is this double bass pedal stuff? And I was like, the fills are so quick, and it's just like all these things that you don't quite get from other genres, I guess, quite as much. Like just the high energy, hard hitting kind of stuff that like really gripped my attention. So.
Yeah, I think that's one thing to just kind of like put out there is, though we all love that jam style, all of our roots are very diverse as well, and you'll see that as John and Drew continue.
Yeah, so like personally, a lot of my influences come from like a wide variety of things, but mainly like not honestly 90s grunge, like Nirvana and Pearl Jam and stuff like that. But then also like the way that I write songs, I'm very inspired by the band Wilco.
I love Wilco.
Cool. Hell yeah. Sometimes it's a hit or miss with that band. Sometimes I'll mention them. It's either you have no idea who they are or you love them. So I'm glad that you guys I'm glad you're a fan. But yeah, so like I'm very inspired by Wilco, and especially Jeff Tweedy. He has a couple books out that I've read that it's just really changed the way I think about songwriting. So but yeah, and then your influences?
Yeah, they're all over the place.
I feel
Yeah, I guess
I respect that.
when I was younger, I was more into the whole like shredder guitars. So guys like Randy Rhoads were like my guitar heroes. He played with Ozzy Osbourne. And then I got into bands like U2, which are more melodic and pop. And then me and Jake went to a Fish show in Watkins Glen called Magnaball, and that pretty much changed the way I looked at music.
Mm-hmm.
Jam bands are totally different than your typical commercial music band.
Yeah.
I always say there's such a difference between like listening to music sort of passively and then like really engaging with music and finding the things that make you happy, that you love, that aren't necessarily things that you're supposed to like, like I think it's a process, and I love hearing about people's music journey, I guess, so it's interesting.
Totally. And like for us three, at least, I know Jerry was kind of late on the bus, but like the Grateful Dead and Fish is what brought the three of us together. My friend thought about introducing us after I was in the car with him jamming some Grateful Dead, and then he's like, "You should meet my friend Jay." So like that band alone is just a big tie for us. And then of course he was so good at the drums, and we're like, bro, you got to listen to some jam bands. Like this.
I was a late bloomer with the jam band scene. Yeah.
But now he's so invested. He tells me new fish facts every day that I didn't know. So.
Yeah, I'm listening to Fish every day. It's unhealthy.
Instead of blast beats, we're getting fish quotes.
Yes.
So obviously the pandemic affected live music a lot, but is there a positive you guys found in this time off?
I'd say songwriting.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, we've really taken a lot of time to not only focus on our mechanics as musicians, but listening to each other more actively, since we're not focusing on playing out. So it gives us more time to focus on like our personal craft as well as like songwriting and things of that sort. And we were lucky enough to be able to play some of those new songs in the live streams to see what works and what doesn't, and then go from there to just round those songs off and make them better, and play them this summer.
Yeah, and also just being able to turn attention to social media, I think, is pretty helpful too. I mean, we've gained fans without even playing shows just because we've been putting our attention to social media, and I guess
this is true. Like after we streamed a couple times, we were gaining more likes and follows and stuff that we may have not have been able to garner if like we were playing a show somewhere else. So that's a cool aspect.
That's what I've heard. Another big theme from talking with artists is like it's an investment, right? You got to invest your time, you got to invest your money, you got to put in the work. Otherwise,
And it's like at some point, I'm not gonna say it's not frustrating, but it's borderline frustrating. Like doing all of this and sometimes feeling like you don't necessarily get the outcome, but we're starting to see a brighter future this summer. So we're really getting all of our gears turning and working for a nice good summer book of shows. So
yeah, I think people are just like hungry for that too,
I think outside shows, I think there's gonna be a lot of people there. I think everybody's eager to go out and hear that music again, especially in this area. We've been cooped up. There's so many music lovers around,
so many spots,
and we're fortunate enough to be able to, with everybody looking to get shows, we're fortunate enough to be able to have booked some, because I know some people are probably going to struggle getting shows around this time as well, just because there's so many people's hands in the pot right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is that what you're most looking forward to with live shows? Is just like seeing people again, feeling that energy?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that energy is it's contagious.
Thank you guys so much for doing this. And where can everyone follow you and support you?
So you can find us on Facebook. Just search Glenmary's Ghost, and I'm wearing it here. I don't know if Zoom's mirrored or not, but I do have this nice logo on my t-shirt. But
nice.
But yeah, and we don't have like a merch shop or anything, but we did plan on selling shirts at our shows this summer. So like if you're looking to get one of these, come out to a show. We'll be posting dates soon. So on Facebook, Glenmary's Ghost, on Instagram at Glenmary's Ghost. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Bandcamp. And like you can go buy our EP on Bandcamp and stuff too. So like there's plenty of ways to support us if you're looking to support us. But yeah, pretty much you can find us anywhere.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much for making time for us today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we really appreciate you guys for taking the time to interview us. It means a lot, especially coming from, you guys. I mean,
VBR has been I love your guys' station, obviously. But yeah, it's just one of the local, it just feels good. Like I definitely had this as a goal once in my life to be like, I want to be on this station one day. So the fact that you guys have been playing our song on there is just we are eternally grateful for that.
Very appreciative. I'm just so excited that we're making the connection. That's just great.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I'm sure when I can, I'll come to a show and I'll get to say hi. So
yes, that'll be awesome.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, have a great day.
Thank you.
Enjoy
the rest of your evening.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
See ya.